Coach Mick, and we came up with a plan, and wanted to get my weight down to around where it is now by this time. 235, and I feel really good now. And plan worked. I just got to keep maintaining it.
How hard was it to follow that plan? One thing to say, don't eat carbs, don't do it. And what were the instructions?
Yeah, I mean, we sat down with Kayla, sat down with Coach Mick. Whether it was in the winter, coming in on Saturdays, doing a little extra cardio, or just being cooking for myself a little more, which made me feel a little more like I'm like living alone. I feel like a little more grown up. It's kind of cool, yeah, adulting a little bit. I was like, all right, I can make some chicken or make some of that. I kind of had fun with it, so yeah, it was cool. It was fun, and I just want to. It feels good, to eat well and to treat your body right, and I really learned how to do that here, and it's been really, really good.
You went from what to 230?
I believe I was 249 when I got here, my first weigh-in, and now I'm around 233, 235.
You ever go pick up like a 15-pound dumbbell and go, hey, I've lost all that? I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know.
It's significant, right?
It is significant, and I can feel it, just in day-to-day, even just moving in the pocket, and then obviously, straight ahead running, I definitely feel it too.
Well, when you get up to the mic.
When you stepped on the scale and it said 249, what were the looks in the room?
Oh yeah, no, Coach Mick had some words for me and whatnot, but I didn't feel great myself. And hey, Jelani, what's up? And I knew I had to lose some weight, and thankfully I did, and all I had to do was listen to what they told me here and follow the plan, and it worked out.
When did you start to get comfortable with the receivers here and just in the offense?
I feel like in the spring I was kind of at the beginning at least drinking from a fire hose a little bit, especially just with the way that the offense was installed. But I think that was good for me, kind of learning how to go through a spring or through a couple of practices without really having any prior experience with an offense, and going through that, kind of the struggles that I had and the things that I learned from, I feel like I really started to settle in kind of like practice 7, practice 8 of the spring. I was like, okay, this is really making sense. Now I'm starting to kind of get my stride, and really now coming into fall camp, it's been like completely different. Just, the way, the amount of banked reps, and that's the thing is like, you can't replicate actually doing it. The only way to do it is to do it, and to go out there and, in OTAs or in fall camp practices and getting reps, and, having these reps from the spring banked and all these things that I've learned. It's helped me a lot in this fall camp to just go out there and play more rather than think about things,
There's going through that when you're a true freshman at Kansas State, right, where you're trying to develop in the background. And it's like, if you don't get it today, it's okay. Even though there's a sense of urgency versus, I know they haven't named the starter yet, but you got 9 months to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just the urgency you had in that situation in comparison to when you're going through it as a young guy who was just in the backup role at that time.
Yeah, it's different. It's obviously you're coming into a new system, you're having to learn things, but it's a lot faster. And the way I looked at it was, if my goal is ultimately to make it to the NFL, this is what I'm going to have to do at the next level. So I think it was a really good opportunity for me to learn how to learn fast and how to pick things up. And I think Coach Kelly and Coach Day have done a really good job of just making things easy to understand and easy to pick up. And the more reps I've gotten, the more comfortable I've become. So it's been great, and the more that I just throw to these receivers and just get around these guys, the more we're coming together and becoming a team. And it's cool to see, and we just got to keep doing it and keep practicing as hard as we admit.
Five practices in, what have you liked? What have you not liked about what you've done?
I think I've done a pretty good job protecting the football and being smart with my decisions. I think that I want to continue to push the ball down the field when I have opportunities to, and be accurate down the field and get some more air on my deep balls. Those are just a couple things that I've thought about personally, but I think one of the bigger things is what are we doing as a team, and obviously I'm thinking about myself and how I can be better, but the bigger thing is how can we be better as a team? How can I facilitate that, being the quarterback? How can I encourage somebody before we go out there to remind them, hey, if it's a running back, make sure on 60, whatever protection, you got these guys. Doing things like that is something I want to continue to grow in for my team, because that's, at the end of the day, all 11 guys have to do their job every single play, and you know, being the quarterback, you kind of have to facilitate that a little bit and help those guys and make sure that, you know, we're being the best team we can be.
Devin was talking about.
We saw you take off for that long run in Saturday's practice. Did you look fast? Did it, like, you feel fast, like running that long?
Yeah, I felt fast. It was nice to get out and run it a little bit. You know, we made a little QB call on that play and got out and ran, and it was fun. You know, obviously it's nice to compete with those guys and running. You know, trying to outrun some DBs that are really, really fast. But yeah, it was a good play.
Yeah, I know when you came here, you talked about you wanted to really develop as a passer, and that was a big priority for you coming here. Do you feel still like your legs is something that can really benefit this team?
Absolutely. That's a big part of my game, and it's going to need to be a part of our game as an offense. You know, whether that's in the read game, in the scramble game, whatever it may be. And you know, I just want these guys on my team to know that, you know, I'm willing to run the ball and go get that extra yard when I need to, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to is, you know, are we going to run some quarterback, you know, run plays? Sure. But, you know, at the end of the game, when it's 3rd and 5 and everyone's covered down the field, am I going to be able to tuck the ball down and go get 6 yards and run someone over? Like that's one of the bigger things. And I think, you know, I want those guys, you know, that are out there with me to know that, you know, I'm going to go get that extra.
How long has that been part of your game? Because some quarterbacks are able to run but not willing. You know what I mean? You have to be coached almost into it.
Yeah.
Has it been since you were Pee-wee? I mean, just
I've
make a play?
Yeah, I've always definitely, you know, when I was a young kid, I was a pretty good runner. When I got to high school, I was a tall, you know, skinny pocket passer kind of.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really known for my running ability. I ran it, you know, from time to time. But when I got to K-State, you know, I put on a little weight. You know, I started to get a little stronger in the, you know, in my leg areas, and you know, and actually my first start against TCU, 3rd play of the game, I ripped off like an 80-yard QB draw, which I surprised myself a little bit. Like I had some good runs in camp, and people knew I was a good athlete, but like I was like, man, did I just really just do that? And from then on, it just kind of became a part of my game, and you know, I just got more and more confident with it, and you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you know, throughout my whole career there, I ran the ball a good amount, and I enjoy running the ball. I think, you know, people always ask me, is it more fun to run a touchdown or throw a touchdown? I like to run it. I think it's pretty cool to, you know, run in there and celebrate with your teammates. But you know, yeah, it's definitely been a big part of my game. It's going to need to be.
Will, some of the guys have said that.
Difference you see being a quarterback at Ohio State versus being a quarterback at Kansas State?
It's a good question. Everything's heightened here. You know, I think, you know, you know, you feel the eyes a little bit, and you feel. I think the one thing I would say is that I don't feel like I have to be a hero here, and I feel like I have the guys around me to where I just need to facilitate and just get them the ball and make good decisions. And at the end of the day, I don't have to go out there and do anything superhuman, you know. I just have to be myself and trust the guys around me. And you know, going through camp and through spring ball, like I was talking to you earlier, Adam, like going against this defense every single day is a blessing, man. Like I know it sucks at times, and I'm sitting here like, geez, like, you know, in a game, like that guy's not going to be guarded like that, you know. That's just Denzel being a dude, or IGB, you know, making a really good play. But like, that's real, and that is going to happen. We're going to play some really good defenses, but like, I think we're playing, you know, one of, if not the best defense in the country every single day, and that's just making me and us better. And you know, for me, you know, it's elevating my game, and I love the competition, and we all do. So.
Well, you played with one of the best tight ends in the country last year. You've had some really good tight ends at Kansas State. Where does this group stack up to you, and what have you thought of their first few days at Kansas?
I think they're doing a really good job. I think here in this offense, they're doing a lot of different things. They're moving around a lot. They're, you know, they're blocking, they're catching, they're doing a lot of different things, and they've shown some really good flashes so far in these first couple of days of practice. And I'm excited for this group. I think G's doing some really good things, and obviously he's one of those alpha dogs in the offense. Like everyone looks to him. You know, he's one of those guys, and you know, and Will Kazmarik's doing some really good things. Jelani's doing some really good things. Like everyone's kind of stepping up, and it's been cool to see. I think that tight end room's definitely bringing the juice. Coach Key's got them going, and I'm excited to see what they do. Yeah.
Do you feel like at this moment? Do you feel like you're the #1 quarterback? You approach practice like you're the starter. your mindset wise? I mean, how do you go about that? Because obviously it's still a competition, but what's your mindset?
I'm just trying to be the best version of myself every single day. That's all I'm trying to do. And you know, whenever I get thrown in there, I'm going to go in there and make the best out of my reps, and you know, show this team that, you know, I'm going to fight for them and do everything that we need to do to win. That's all that matters to me. Just getting better and being the best teammate I can be.
This is the first year that the analysts can coach guys during practice, and Chip said Billy can kind of talk with you guys more after a rep and help you up as you learn a new offense, a new system. Has that been valuable to you to have?
It's been awesome. Yeah, I think it was long overdue. I think, you know, we've had these guys that have a ton of knowledge, you know, and had all these weird rules that they couldn't coach. But now being able to, you know, have Riley and Billy and Coach Kelly and Coach Day all coaching us. You got really 2 quarterback coaches on either field when we're doing like 2 spot. Like, it's invaluable. And I think Billy's been awesome for the room. You know, I think Riley Larkin's still doing some really good things. Obviously, Coach Kelly and Coach Day are, you know, some of the best in the country, you know, at developing quarterbacks. And you know, the coaching that we're getting is awesome, and I think having the analysts be able to be out there on the field has been really big and long overdue.
Last question to Bill.
Chip said there is no front runner at this point. You guys are rotating through. We saw you take all the reps in 2011 the other day. At what point would it be helpful to know who the starter is and then be able to get those reps and be the leader, more importantly, to kind of take with the team?
Yeah, you know, I wish I could say. I don't really know, and you know, that's not up to me. That's not my decision. I'm just going to be myself. You know, keep fighting to be the best version of myself every single day, and you know, try to make the most out of my reps and show this team that, you know, I'm gonna give them my all, and that's all I can do, man. And we're just gonna keep competing, keep making each other better, and having fun.
In terms of your passing, do you feel like a different passer than you were at K-State, and why?
Yes, I do. I think I've tweaked some things with my mechanics, and you know, I think the coaching that I'm getting here, just not mechanic wise, but read wise and feet wise, and all these different things. And you know, I'm getting a different, deeper level of coaching than I ever have before. And you know, I have a deeper understanding of the offense and what the defense is doing, and you know, my movement keys, my pre-snap checklists, my post-snap reads, like everything's just been faster. And obviously, you know, my experience helps with that a little bit. But I think, you know, my work with my quarterback coach has helped a lot. Jeff Christensen, you know, he's helped me a ton, and you know, I feel like I've just gotten stronger, and that's helped me a lot too. So I think I'm throwing the ball with a lot more confidence, throwing the ball a lot better, and a lot of that has to do with the coaching I've gotten. And you know, that's a credit to those guys for getting me ready and you know, making sure that you know, I develop myself in the off season, and you know, I've become the best version of myself going into fall camp.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Will.